I appreciate the thought, Tali, and I feel the same way. But you don't have to prove anything to me.
I know. Well, not that I know, but I didn't mean it like that. It's wow, it's really hot in here. It's just that the tradition also signifies a willingness for, intimacy. I wasn't trying to... It's not always like that. It's more... how did we even end up talking about this?
Spicy meat. Yeah, boy. That's it.
This right here is my favorite thing, ever. In the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
After all, I'm only human. After all, don't put the blame on.
Lockhart QT.
Hey everyone, and I hope you enjoyed that little funny intro I put together. It was just some memes that have gone in my head for the past few days, but today I wanted to talk about Mass Effect TALI. TALI is best girl by a mile. I did a complete tier list of the romances if you want to go check that video out. It disappointed a lot of people, but I think, you know, TALI fans are very happy because, spoiler, she's in S tier at the top. I believe TALI is the best romance in all of Mass Effect, and in today's video I'm going to go over why. TALI is sweet, kind, she's a sweet little ragamuffin, she's cute, she's capable, strong, she's great with technology, and overall she's just amazing. I was actually going to romance Liara in my initial playthrough of Mass Effect years ago, and because I was coming into the series completely blind. I think my first playthrough was in 2019 of the original Mass Effect, and I decided to give it a go, and I fell in love with the series, hence why the series is sort of my number one focus on the channel now. I love Mass Effect, I love the whole series. Liara is sort of the poster romance, I guess you could say, for the entire series, and for me I just thought, you know, I'll romance Liara, why not? I'll give it a go. But then I just really wasn't getting in, I just wasn't feeling it. But then as I met TALI, because you meet her on the Citadel quite early on in Mass Effect 1, I just loved her instantly. Like, I love her character, I just love how sweet she is. She's really funny, especially in Mass Effect 3's Citadel DLC, where you essentially host a party for all your surviving squad mates, and TALI gets drunk, she gets a tattoo, she starts like imitating the engine sounds from the Normandy while she's drunk. She then like passes out in the bathroom and starts throwing up the next morning. And throughout the party as well, even if you choose to keep it, because it basically at the Citadel party you can essentially choose to have it more of a rowdy party where everyone's drunk and doing stupid things, or you can have more of a calm and quiet party. And at the calm and quiet party, TALI takes pop shots at Ashley, she takes pop shots at all the other characters as well, and it's just really funny. And even if you don't romance her, she's still a great character. I mean, I'm pretty sure in most playthroughs, I don't know what specific criteria has to be met, but in pretty much all the playthroughs that I've done that I haven't romanced TALI, which isn't many, she's always ended up with Garrus, and even her storyline with Garrus, where she ends up dating Garrus in Mass Effect 3, is still really good. But for me, TALI is best girl by a mile, by a country mile. Don't get me wrong, Garrus is quite good, Liara's quite good, Jack's quite good, but for me, TALI has the best storyline. I love her story of essentially trying to find herself in the galaxy, trying to prove herself to the fleet, and then in Mass Effect 2 she ends up basically fulfilling that by going into the trial, being falsely accused of bringing Geth technology to the fleet and then essentially sabotaging the fleet, and the whole storyline with her father. And then in Mass Effect 3 this really ramps up. Mass Effect 3, her story of essentially retaking her homeworld of Rannoch is brilliant, and again, if you tick all the boxes, if you do everything right, you can save the Geth, save TALI, because unfortunately if you do fail she dies, but a lot of the other characters do. But you know, in Mass Effect 3 her story is amazing. I think it's really good. She has really good moments with Shepard, and her romance for me just was really impactful, and it felt really personal, which I think is really good. And I think that's a really good testament to the writing staff at BioWare at the time for the original trilogy. I think the writing in Mass Effect 2 and 3 specifically, as well as Mass Effect 1 as well, but for me 2 and 3, Tali is done almost near perfectly. I think she's one of the most well-written characters in any game I've ever played, and she's the best romance of any game I've ever played, which is saying a lot because I loved games like Persona 5 and the Elder Scrolls and more. So hopefully we get more of Tali going into the next Mass Effect game. Again, we don't know when it's set, but if it is set sort of straight after the original trilogy, for me as a fan of Tali, I need to see Tali. I need to see where she goes. I need to see her story, and I'd love to see Rannoch again. I'd love to see potentially if Shepard and Tali have a house. I have no idea how BioWare are going to incorporate this, if it is a continuation of Mass Effect 3's story at the end, the next Mass Effect game that is, because then they'd have to essentially factor in all the endings, the player choices. I did go over this in a past video, but I'm hoping they do some kind of like interactive comic like they did for Mass Effect 2 and 3, where you essentially make all the choices that you did in the original trilogy, and then that determines the beginning of the story for the going into the next game. But anyway guys, if you are struggling to find a romance in Mass Effect 3, I really recommend Tali. I also recommend Garrus and Jack as well, but yeah, the Mass Effect universe is just really good. I think the characters in it are amazing, and I just sort of wanted to do this letter as essentially a love letter to the characters of Mass Effect. I will do sort of a bigger video on this, and I have already done my romance tier list as I went over earlier, but for me, she's really good. Anyway everyone, thank you so much for watching, and for more Mass Effect content, stay subscribed and like the video. I am going on holiday basically the next few days, so I will basically have a couple videos ready to go just in case, but I am going away for a few days. But then since next week after Easter, I will be back and ready to upload more videos. And as I said earlier, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.